Alright, I'm a little late to the party, but we're gonna do it anyway. Top 10 movies of 2023. And I don't mean just like theater movies that came out. Like I'm talking just movies that I'd seen this past year. So, any movie I'd seen in 2023, it's in the running for top 10. So it could go from like 60s to like a theater movie that was released. So, just any movie I'd seen. And yeah, we'll start with honorable mentions. Alright, first honorable mention is Running Man with Arnold in it. It's a pretty fun one. Yeah, it was, I don't know, kind of interesting. It predicted deepfakes, so that's cool. Yeah, so then we have Seven. That's just a great movie. Like, go watch it if you haven't seen it. Super suspenseful, and yeah. The Social Network, which was also a really good movie. That one caught me off guard. I was like, dang, this is pretty good, well filmed. It kind of does like the Oppenheimer formula, and but it's just better. Like I think it's better than Oppenheimer. So, and the theater movie, Gran Turismo, that was really fun. Had a good time watching that one. The visuals are amazing, like when the car like explodes. Not like in flames, but like the parts where you can see all the moving parts of the vehicle. And anyway, really good story. Also really cool that's a true story. And Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. I had a great time watching this movie. I'm a big Mission Impossible fan, so I don't think there's a bad Mission Impossible movie. And yeah, this one just continued the trend of they're all pretty fun and good. This one it's actually had a cool plot with like AI and stuff, so that was fun. And of course some great stunts. And for the last honorable mention, it's got to be John Wick 4. It almost made top 10, but oh man, it's just there's so many other good ones. And I don't know, John Wick 4 was amazing, fun movie. Gotta love when he's shooting everybody with like that shotgun thing. And anyway, yeah, good stuff. All right, kicking off our top 10 at number 10. We got Prince of Darkness. Now this came out of nowhere. I was recommended this movie by a friend, and yeah, this one took me by surprise. I didn't know what to expect, so I was kind of going in blindly a little bit, and it was really good. You know, it was pretty scary, especially at the end. It was pretty disturbing, more I guess, than like scary. Yeah, that was good. And then there's a lot of funny parts in this. Like, there's just some goofy parts where like Walter's like. I love Walter. He's the guy from Big Trouble in Little China too. But
All right. A Jewish mother goes to the airport to meet her daughter. The daughter steps off the plane with an 8-foot-tall Zulu warrior with a bone through his nose. The mother screams, "You fool! I said a rich doctor!"
but he's all, I hope they go to a nice Chinese restaurant. And I don't know, there's just some goofy dialogue in there that I really enjoy. Like when homie's like, man, that's a bunch of caca. Guys, this is caca. And then bro dies, so his last words were literally caca. It very effectively combines science and the supernatural together to create some pretty interesting thoughts and ideas. And it conveys them well here. And there's a lot of sad deaths in it too, so it's a fun watch. Alright, at number 9, we got The Descent. Now, this movie, whew, man, honestly, this is probably the scariest movie I watched this year. It was pretty scary. Very claustrophobic and well thought out and way smarter than I thought it was going to be. I should have been more locked in for the beginning because I missed some details, but on a rewatch you can see all those things especially. But very good, and oh my gosh, yeah. If you want a good scare, you should check out The Descent. The setting is just terrifying. Like being stuck inside of a cave system, like it's just, whew, man. I never thought about it like that before. Especially with, you know, things crawling around and stuff. So yeah, it's super spooky, and but it was a really good time. I did enjoy the original ending instead of the American version. I think the American version it's alright. I think both endings are okay, but the original one is better, for sure. All right, coming in at number 8, we got a fun one. Man, this movie. Oh man. All right, number 8, Sisu. This was yeah. I watched this in theater this year, so it's the first theater movie on the list, and it's it's just John Wick's grandpa. Like, I mean, what more could you want? Yeah, the main character is just an old guy, just digging for gold, and then some Nazis come and try and take his gold, and they do. So he has to kill him, and it's just so fun, and it's super over the top, and like you can't take it like too seriously, especially towards the end. Um, but it's just a fun popcorn movie to watch, and yeah, my grandpa like literally loves this movie. It's like his favorite movie. He's watched it like 5 times now. We just gave him the Blu-ray disc because he wanted to watch it so many times. So yeah, it's a good, just fun movie. All right, at number 7 we got Big Trouble in Little China, and this is a very interesting movie. And on the first watch, I was like, oh dang, that was a lot there to take in. But then I kind of thought about it more as I after I watched it, and I kind of liked it more and more. And as I was watching, I was like, man, they really just like took all the ideas they had and just kind of threw them all into one movie, but like in a good way, where like everything works. It's not sloppy. It's like it's fun. They do it in a fun way, and there's some really good lines with Kurt Russell.
Okay, you people sit tight, hold the fort, and keep the home fires burning. And if we're not back by dawn, call the president.
And it's John Carpenter film, so that's cool too. And some of the scenes, I'm just like, dang, Mortal Kombat like definitely saw this and was like, hey, let's do that. Also, just great characters in this movie. They're just fun to follow, and I like how Jack Burton's just like trying to get his truck back. It's like the most simple motivation for a character, yet it's like really funny, and it's just a fun movie. I really liked it. All right, coming in at number 6, we got another theater movie, and it's Godzilla -1, baby. And oh man, this was just such a fun movie to watch in theaters, and I've always loved Godzilla ever since I was a kid. And the music just like took me back, like that music. And also just a really good story. Like it wasn't just the nostalgia for me. Like it was genuinely a good movie with like characters that you liked, and there's not too many Godzilla movies out there that like actually get you to care for the characters. Usually the characters are super goofy and like one-dimensional, but here they're pretty complex, and you get a good feel for what they're feeling and all, and then when Godzilla's destruction actually hits, it makes it a lot more impactful than other movies. Because in other movies, he just like, he just messes up the Tokyo or whatever, and that's just like, oh, fun. But here it's kind of like scary, because Godzilla is like seen as an actual threat in this movie. It's also impressive how this movie's genuinely good when it's literally just Godzilla. Usually when it's just Godzilla, it's a little more boring, but like this is just amazing. Like this is way better than most of the actual ones where Godzilla fights another monster, which is usually what Godzilla is known for. But this is more of like a callback to the original Godzilla, where it's just Godzilla. And I think they executed perfectly here, especially with a budget of under 15 million. Under 15 million is wild. Like how? Like actually how? Like Hollywood needs to be taking notes right now, because their margin of profit was crazy on this movie. They made so much money compared to like She-Hulk or something with like a budget that's like 3 times this for like 1 episode or something. So this is just good to see. It gives us hope. Alright, top 5 time, baby. These are the top 5 movies that I'd seen this year. And coming in at number 5 is The Menu. And The Menu caught me by surprise. I wasn't sure what to expect. I didn't know much about it going in. And I was just so impressed by like how captivating it was on a topic that I'm not even that interested in. Like I'm not like a huge food person. Um I mean, I've seen like some of the food shows like Cutthroat Kitchen, so I kind of get like when they like show the food like platters like all cinematically, kind of like the shows. So I got that, but I think it was just super captivating for like anybody. Like anybody could watch this movie and be entertained by it, and at least I was, for sure. Also, I watched this movie like 4 times so far, and it hasn't even been a year, so that's also a testament to it. I mean, I watched it with like different people, and there's just like little details that you'll miss if you're not paying attention. So it's pretty cool on a rewatch as well, because you get like a full-on like different experience, because you know what's up, right? You know what the characters are up to and all that without giving anything away, and it's so funny too. Like it's a dark comedy, which I love. Like dark humor's great, and I mean like Tyler's BS is so funny, and then the s'mores, dude. The s'mores at the end is wild, and then the chef Slowick making the burger is just a hilarious scene. It's like all epic, just like him making a burger is like super intense, but also funny because it's like he's like smiling for like the first time in the movie almost. Yeah, but really good fun. Go check it out. Coming in at number 4, I have Nobody. I mean, nobody deserved it, really. Yeah, it's kind of sad. I really thought 4 would be a fun spot for a movie, but yeah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, Nobody, literally the movie Nobody gets in. It's a great movie. Man, I was surprised, and I like Bob Odenkirk. I'm a huge Better Call Saul fan. So I mean, I love to see Bob Odenkirk again and see him like play a different kind of guy, like a more of a violent man with a past that kind of comes back to get him a little bit, but he enjoys the past. He indulges in it, and it's kind of cool. Yeah, it's pretty much like John Wick, but better in my opinion. And I guess since I have John Wick 4 at honorable mentions, I guess that means that I like Nobody better than all the John Wick movies, which I don't know what I think about that, honestly. Like, don't ask me. But, yeah, this is just a fun movie. I had a great time watching it. There's a lot of fun moments in it, and the soundtrack's great. There's some good music in it. And it's just fun to see Bob Odenkirk play this role. Fun cinematography as well. Cinematography is pretty good in it. There's some cool shots, and I just love the ending and how his dad is like old grandpa, but he's got like a shotgun. He's played by Christopher Lloyd. Like what? It's hilarious. Just a great movie, all around fun. It's just one of those movies that tastes good going down. All right. Coming in at number 3, we got Escape from New York. Oh yeah, Escape from New York was a banger of a movie, and I just had a great time watching this movie. I watched it a couple times already, and I had fun both times watching it. And yeah, I just don't see anything wrong with this movie, like at all. Like it's just a fun movie. It's a good movie with a fun plot. And again, John Carpenter and Kurt Russell, whenever they get together, it's just a masterpiece. And that's definitely seen here. Like, and are you kidding me? The guy from Good, Bad, and Ugly. I'm sorry, I forgot this dude's name, but yeah, this guy, like, dude, yeah, that's sick. Bro from Good, Bad, and Ugly with Kurt Russell. And then you got Homie from Alien, who plays the Brain. He's in Alien 1. I had never seen him in anything else, so I was like, oh wow. And yeah, fun plot is a lot. I like the ending a lot. I think the ending like definitely seals it for me. Like everything that goes down when they're trying to escape, right? Literally escape from New York. In the car and stuff, and then it's pretty intense, and everyone starts dying, and then the president, like. Yeah, the president with the gun is pretty goofy. And then I mean just that the actual like last thing, right, with the president like playing the tape, and then it's because that's like the whole plot was about. But then Snake like switched it, and that was so good. It was so sick. And then I like how throughout the movie, like, he's like, call me Snake, you know? And then at the end, he calls him Snake, and then he's like, the name's Pliskin. And I don't know, it was so good. Dialogue was like, there was a lot of good dialogue that was like set up and then paid off at the end, or like just throughout the story. And a lot of little details, if you're not paying attention, you might miss it. And the soundtrack, oh my gosh, the soundtrack is so good in this movie. But great movie, couldn't recommend it more. Go check it out. Escape from New York. Alright, here we go. Number 2. We got...
How can you watch this shit over and over? Shh!
Yeah, that's right, baby. We got Scream. And Scream, it deserves its number 2 spot. This was a great movie. I watched it a couple times, and it was like... I was kind of expecting it to be more goofy, which it was goofy, but I thought it was gonna be kind of like funny. But it was more serious, and I didn't really know what was gonna happen. I was trying to like predict it because I thought it would be like predictable, but yeah, it wasn't. And the ending is great. The reveals are awesome. The kills are fun. The characters are interesting. I mean, only good things to say about this movie. I watched all the sequels after it, and none of them get close to the first one. First is the best, for sure, with this movie. My favorite characters were definitely Randy and Stu. I mean, they're funny, and like, they're just great characters. And then seeing what they do with Stu is awesome. I love how they like divert your expectations in this movie by like being really meta, but then also being like pretty basic. It's interesting. It's great. It's done very well. I like all the references too to like all other horror movies. It's pretty great. The opening scene is also very gripping. Kind of pulls you into the whole experience, and it is pretty scary. And it was also like the first like, do you want to play a game like thing. They did it before Jigsaw. It was actually Scream, which is interesting. The whole phone call thing. Obviously they make fun of it in their own movies later on and stuff, and make fun of it in like Scary Movie and stuff. But it was a pretty iconic opening scene for sure. Especially because they like advertised this girl as like the main character, which was that's like genius. So they can really subvert expectations. Honestly, Randy could finish it up for me in one line.
There's a formula to it. A very simple formula. Everybody's a suspect.
Alright, here we go. The best movie I watched in 2023 goes to...
Yo! Stop your grinning and drop your linen.
This movie is an absolute classic, like an instant classic. Like, I feel like when I watched this movie, I was like, dang, I feel like this is like a childhood movie that you'd watch and it'd be like the best ever. But it's just like already the best ever, you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense, but it does. Or does it? Just like the movie. The movie's like, was it this guy who died, or was he the thing, or was that the thing, or whatever? It keeps you guessing the entire movie. The movie is so suspenseful, and it's all practical effects. There's no CGI whatsoever. It's all practical, and that's just amazing. And Kurt Russell, he has the most commanding beard of all time in this movie. His beard is like the beard of movies. Like, he looks really good. And then Childs is awesome in this, and all the characters are great, and it's just like, oh man, the practical effects. I can't get over that. And the setting is so perfect. Like in Antarctica, like you never see like a horror movie in Antarctica. It's so cool because it's like it is a very isolated place, and I mean you wouldn't think of like it being scary. You just think like, oh, it's cold, but it actually creates like a lot of problems in the movie, right? It's not just a cool setting. It's like, and also people make relatively smart decisions, except for this guy. This guy sucks at holding grenades. Look at that. What a fumble. What an idiot. Look at that. Let's see that in instant replay. Goofy, bro. Anyway, yeah, most of the characters make really smart decisions. Like, you know, with food and drinks and stuff, they're trying to like not contaminate, like cross-contaminate, and everything's kind of like left up to the viewer on like who kills who, like who's the thing, up until like the very end of the movie has you guessing, and still has people debating over if Childs is the thing or if he's not the thing. I don't know, me personally, I like to think he's not, and they kind of just sit there and die, you know, like they accomplish their mission. If Childs was the thing, that kind of sucks, I guess, but it's also cool because it's like, I don't know, Kurt Russell's there like, yeah, I got nothing, like I'm just gonna drink this and kind of sit here and die. But either way, it's sick, and I like how it's up to the viewer to think like, it's up to the viewer to kind of interpret if Childs is the thing or not, and you can kind of pick up on things throughout the movie, like light being in people's eyes when they're not the thing, and then there's like no light in Childs' eyes, but it's also just like that was for one particular scene, so it's very complicated. It's meant to be like open-ended, so there's like no real answer, but you can kind of like theorize yourself, which is really cool. It's one of the best endings I've seen to a movie, like ever. The ending is amazing. It's like S-tier ending, absolutely beautiful. This movie rocks. You need to watch it right now. Like if you haven't seen it, buy it. I don't care how much it is, buy it and watch it. It's too good. And yeah, that's about it.
Bitch.
And that's it for 2023. Looking forward to 2024 now. Hopefully you see some good stuff. I'm off to a pretty good start. Seen some good stuff. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. But
now that was fun. Oh, don't tell me that wasn't fun.
Why didn't they kill us? Ah!
They want us alive.